Magna Carta of Women or the Republic Act number 9710. What is the Magna Carta of Women? The Magna Carta of Women aims to eliminate all forms of discrimination against women through policies that recognize, protect, and promote women's rights. The law aims to empower women by bridging the gap caused by gender-based distinctions that restrict women's participation in social, economic, political, and cultural development of the Philippines. This is in line with the provision of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that all human beings are free and equal in dignity and rights. What is the state's policy in relation to the Magna Carta of Women? The state recognizes the important role that women fulfill in nation building. The Magna Carta of Women promotes empowerment of women and pursues equal opportunities for women and men. This means that the state obliterates any structures that perpetuate discrimination, inequality, and forms of abuse that will hinder or suppress a woman from exercising her rights. What are the duties of the state in relation to the Magna Carta of Women? Number 1. To implement necessary mechanisms to enforce these rights and adopt legal measures. It is necessary to foster and promote the equal opportunity for women to participate in and contribute to the development of the political, economic, social, and cultural realms. Number 2. To ensure the full integration of women's concerns in the mainstream of development by providing ample opportunities for the enhancement and development of their skills for productive employment. Number 3. To be answerable for the observance and implementation of human rights, in accordance with international law and our Constitution. Number 4. To implement measures promoting the coherent and integrated implementation and enforcement of this act. Stop discrimination against and advance the rights of women. Number 5. The state shall be up to date with and be guided by progressive developments in human rights of women under international law and design of policies, laws, and other measures to promote the objectives of this act. What if the state fails to do all the above-mentioned declarations? If they fail to do so, aggrieved right holders are entitled to institute proceedings for appropriate redress before a competent court or other adjudicators in accordance with the rules and procedures provided by law. What are the rights protected by the Magna Carta of Women? 1. Right to be protected from violence. 2. Right to protection and security in times of disasters, calamities, and other crisis situations. 3. Right to participation and representation. 4. Equal access in education, scholarship, and training. 5. Women participation in sports. 6. Women participation in the military. 7. Non-discriminatory and non-derogatory portrayal of women in media and film. 8. Women's right to health. 9. Special leave benefits for women. 10. Equal rights in all matters relating to marriage and family relations. How will these rights be protected? How can women be protected from all forms of violence, including those committed by the state? It is to increase at least 50-50 ratio of men and women in the recruitment and training of women in the police force, forensics, medical legal, legal judicial services, and social work services. 2. How can women be protected and secured in the times of disaster, calamities, and other crisis situations? The National, Regional, and Local Disaster Coordinating Councils shall ensure the participation of women in the development of gender-responsive disaster management. 3. How can the rights of women to participation and representation be protected? Representation of women or women's group in a policy and decision-making bodies in the international, national, and local bodies. 4. How can women get equal treatment before the law? It is to repeal or amend the existing laws that are discriminatory to women, like Family Code Article 55, repeated physical abuse and grossly abusive conduct as a ground for legal separation, and revised Penal Code, Article 333 on adultery and concubinage. 5. How can women be given equal access in education, scholarship, and training? Pregnant students shall be assisted while in the school of available support services and counseling to ensure completion of their studies. For DAPED, CHED, and TESDA, to develop and promote gender-sensitive curriculum, instructional materials, capacity building for faculty and personnel. 6. How can the state encourage participation of women in sports? It is to train more female coaches for girls and women's teams and conduct activities such as sports clinics and seminars for potential female leaders, coaches, and teachers at least once a year. 7. How can women in military, police, and other similar services be free from discrimination? It is to ensure the rights of women in the military and police to decent and separate facilities and personal protective equipment to ensure their safety. Number 8. How can the portrayal of women in media and film be non-discriminatory and non-derogatory? The dignity of women and their roles and contributions in all spheres of private and public life shall be promoted through the following: enhancement of programming, production, and image, making that present women's needs, issues, and concerns. Number 9. How can women's right to health be protected? It is to assess the comprehensive health program, promotion of breastfeeding and proper nutrition for lactating mothers, responsible, ethical, legal, safe, and effective family planning. Number 10. What are the special leave benefits for women? Any female employee in the public and private sector, regardless of age and civil status, shall be entitled to a special leave of 2 months with full pay based on her gross monthly compensation due to surgery caused by gynecological disorders. 11. How can women get equal rights in all matters relating to marriage and family relations? LGU shall provide trainings and seminars on the popularization of rights and obligation of spouses towards each other to reduce and prevent the stereotyping of roles, multiple burden, and subordination of women. The Magna Carta recognizes the marginalized sector. Who are the marginalized? It refers to the disadvantaged or vulnerable persons or groups who are mostly living in poverty and have little or no access to land and other resources, as well as basic social and economic services such as healthcare, education, water, and sanitation, employment and livelihood opportunities, housing, social security, physical infrastructure, and the justice system. The marginalized groups include but not limited to small farmers and rural workers, fisher folks, urban poor government workers, minors, persons 18 years of age or over but unable to fully protect themselves from abuse or neglect because of their mental or physical condition, senior citizens, persons with disabilities, and solo parents. Rights of women living within marginalized sectors. The rights of women living within marginalized sectors include education and training, livelihood, credit, capital and technology, food security and productive resources, housing, decent work, information, representation, and social protection. Penalties for violation of the Magna Carta of Women. If the violation is committed by any government office, including government-owned and controlled corporations and local government units, the person liable are those directly responsible for the violation, as well as the head of the agency or local chief executive. Penalties per persons liable if the violation is committed by a government office. The sanctions under administrative law, civil service, or other appropriate laws as recommended by the Commission on Human Rights to the Civil Service Commission and the Department of the Interior and Local Government. When the violence has been proven to be perpetrated by the agents of the state, The violence shall be considered aggravating offense with corresponding penalties, which would depend on the severity of the offense. Penalty if the violation is committed by a private entity or individual. The person is directly responsible for the violation shall be liable to pay damages. The offended party pursue other remedies aside from those provided in the Magna Carta of Women. Yes, the offended party may avail of other remedies under the law and invoke any of the other provision of existing laws, especially those that protect the rights of women. That's all. Thank you.